It's been a while since we've heard this music.
It's good to hear it though. It's good to be back.
I
like it.
Wow. What is up, and welcome back to the Daily Traders podcast. This is episode number 11. I'm your host, Mark, and tragically, Jack could not be here with us today. All right. Unfortunately. Jack was involved in a mountain biking accident, and he will be out for the next couple of weeks. He's doing all right, but just is not in shape to be in front of camera. So today, my co-host, friend, and co-worker, Cody, is here with us. And Cody's not only, my assistant, doesn't only work for the company, but he's a good trader himself. He's made over six figures trading in both the stock and crypto markets. So we're going to be talking about kind of our story, his story, how we met and how things came to be, and then some other fun stuff. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. If you don't know who we are, the Daily Traders is the largest trading and investing community on the internet. We've got a combined 3 to 4 million followers across all of our platforms. So if you want to learn about trading, this is the place to be. If you want to be entertained, this is the place to be. All right, a little disclaimer. We are not financial advisors. We cannot give financial advice. Nothing we say in this podcast should be taken as financial advice. Okay, the full disclaimers is in the description below. Check that out. Don't sue us. Bye. Yeah, Cody, let's kick it off with how we met. It's a cool story, and I'll let you just run with it.
Yeah, so I actually got into crypto trading a few years back. I had a buddy get me into small cap stocks, and then I kind of transitioned over to crypto. And while I was in my crypto phase, very newbie beginner, I was posting some of my gains on Snapchat, and I completely even forgot I met you. This was probably 2 years after I really met you for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually sent me a message on Snapchat, and you were like, hey man, I have this group, I'm looking for a team of traders to get an office with. And I don't know, you're like, this is my dream. I want to make this happen. And I'd love for you to come to the office one day and just give it a shot.
Yeah. This was back when I was in LA, and I knew I was moving back here, and I wanted to get an office. And it was just me in the office for a while. You came on in late November. So it's been almost a year. Might have been a little earlier than that. You came on, we started trading together, and, sharing ideas. And then I asked if you wanted to help me grow this company. And so here we are.
Yeah. It only took about 2 days. And I was like, hey man, do you have any stuff I could do for you? I'm like, in the business. And you're like, actually, I think there is. So
yeah, and you had quit your job, you were trading, you were in a 9 to 5 for.
Yeah, so I actually quit in November, and then I came on full time with you back in the beginning of March. But I was kind of working with you before that, in December.
Yeah, we started talking and working on a couple projects, but you officially, came on in March of 2022.
Yeah, no, I was able to quit my 9 to 5 trading crypto and stocks. It was the biggest relief off my shoulders. Yet when I was trying to live off that income I was making, that's when it started to get hard. And then as soon as it started to get hard, he messaged me, and I was like, wow, that was great timing. It was kind of like luck, but if I would never, applied myself, I would never have had that opportunity to be lucky.
Yeah, you made a lot of money trading, but you get to a point where it's you have a couple rough months, and it's shit, this is hard. You're spending your expenses, whatever. I don't know what your expenses are, but you have a house, you have house payments, car payments.
Yeah, I got a house, I got a truck, I had a four-wheeler. I have that paid off now, but I don't plan to pay off my truck or my house just because of cash flow reasons. Why? Why would I go spend $100,000 to pay off my house or $60,000 to pay off my truck when I can use all that money for cash flow and make more money with that money?
Yeah. I didn't think we said how old you were. You're 25?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay.
Yep. I bought my house when I was 22.
Cool. That's a huge accomplishment too, to be 22 and buy a house.
Yeah, it was weird because it was actually, I was probably about 20 and I was still living at my parents' house and I was so miserable. And I was just miserable for all the wrong reasons. But yeah, and then I started actually going online and I found some people I really resonated with. Lewis Mocker and David Goggins, Gary Vee. I resonated with all those guys. And I was working these 9-to-5 jobs in the trades. And I was just like, I just wasn't happy because I knew I was capable of better things.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would go online and see people like you, like doing well. And I'm like, dude, I have the capability. I just need to apply myself. And what I was fueling myself off was motivation. And what I really needed to fuel myself off was drive. And when I originally got into trading, I actually started with $50.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So the first, actually all my money I've ever made has been from $50.
That's crazy.
I've never added any more because I didn't have to.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like everyone's like, oh, like, I don't have enough money. It all depends. Like if you're a new trader and you're getting into this space and you have, $50, $100, $500, you really can't follow the real principles of trading because that's not enough money to like actually properly trade, like put position sizing. So, like I was going all in, which when you have $50, like what else do? You just go all in.
Yeah.
And I got lucky. So like I had a friend, who got me into trading. He just had a Discord group and he's posting on his Facebook. He's like, if anyone's learning how to trade, you guys can join the group. It's a free group, it's not paid. And it's just a bunch of our buddies and we're all doing really well. And, he taught me the basics of trading, like very good risk management, staying high cash in volatile markets, and stuff like that. So then what I did is I actually put $50 into a stock called OCGN.
Okay.
The stock was trading, it was a penny stock. It was trading around 23 cents. And the reason I bought it, again, this is when I was like a straight noob into stocks. I didn't know anything. But the main reason I bought it was because there was an earnings report coming out and it was rumored to be really good. Well, they ended up pushing it back to like Christmas time. So I bought this stuff at the end of October and I held it for like 2 months.
Wow.
Because it was only $50 worth. I really forgot about it.
Okay.
And anyway, their earnings dropped like right after Christmas, like the 27th. And when their earnings dropped, I was at work and I looked down at my phone and I was just checking my stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, the earnings dropped today. I was like, I'm going to check it. Dude, that stock was at $2.23 and I had $500 in my account. And I was like, oh shit.
Wow. So $50 and a 500.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah. And then, that was right before the January bull market. And I forget what year. I'm pretty sure that was the 2021 bull market in January.
Okay.
And you're like, dude, you couldn't lose. You could be the worst trader ever, and you just couldn't lose for like a month straight.
I remember that.
So like, I thought I was so good at trading, man. I was like buying like anything, and I was making money. So I ended up scaling that to like probably like $3 to $5 grand in that time. Like not much, but like enough to go like, holy shit, I just turned $50 into like $5 grand. I can't remember exactly what I had, but
like this trading thing works.
Yeah, and then that's when I started getting into crypto and like really, because what I realized was, and what my friend taught me was, he was like, he's like, this is not the real market. He's like, stay high cash. He's like, don't be stupid. So I think I ended up losing like $500, and then I just like thought I was all that because my buddy told me like just be very careful. And anyway, I stayed high cash and then I just watched the market tank. And I was just like, holy crap, and just still tanked. And I like bought in a few, lost a couple $100, and then I kept losing a little more. But for the most part, I just stayed 90% cash. So it didn't affect me. But in that same amount of time, I was able to put that money into crypto. And then I scaled that money, that $3 to $5 grand, into 25 grand in crypto. And then I was able to get past the pattern day trading. And then I was able to put my money in Thinkorswim, and then I made more money in the stock market. And then right around November came, and then I was trying to, like I said, live off that money and go full time. And it's very hard to like live off that money, and
because you had over 100,000 at that point in your trading account.
I wouldn't say I had over 100. I was probably at like 87,000. I think that was my the most money I had like in my account at one time because
Okay.
I was taken away from it.
Okay.
So I'd make
To pay
10
for
grand
stuff.
and I would spend 10 grand like over like a course of a month. Like I had bills to pay, I had my house payment, and that's all I was doing, like just all the time, like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So
Dang. And wait,
Yeah.
were you working still at your normal job during that period?
no,
Okay.
like once I think it was almost a year ago now, quit my job that November and I was done.
Okay.
So, but how I actually started was the 9 to 5 job I had was actually probably about 8 in the morning to 7 at night, 4 days a week.
Wow.
I worked Wednesday through Saturday, and I was able to use my Mondays and Tuesdays that I had off. Actually, well, Sunday, the market's not open. I had Sunday off too. But I was able to use that extra time to be in the stock market all day. So
Okay.
that's how in January I was able to make all that money while I was still working.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, it wasn't really a big deal for me to stay all cash because I was working a 9 to 5 job. So I had a regular income at that point.
Yeah. Which
So-
is like, that's when people go to make that transition from like, or to being a full-time day trader.
Yeah.
It's often very hard.
It is, it's a lot harder than people think. But, my whole thing, what actually really motivates me is that, for an example, right? If you have $100,000, okay, and you know nothing about the stock market, and you're like 50 years old, and you just decide to learn trading, well, you're going to go all in with your $100,000, and you're either going to learn how to do it, or you're just going to lose all your $100,000.
Yeah.
But if you only have 1,000, you're only going to lose your 1,000.
Yeah.
So it's like losing 1,000 is not really that big of a deal, but losing 100,000, like that's a big deal. That's why it's so important to learn with a small amount of money, so
Yeah.
that when you make those big numbers, you can keep those big numbers.
Yeah. Did you paper trade at all?
I tried, but I was really
No.
I didn't really paper trade at all. I mean, I had the account set up, but I just used my money. I just used small positioning sizes, and in the back of my head, I was like, okay, like I was all about the actual percent of the trade, not the money. So I was like on paper, I would write it down and be like, okay, I made say 10%. Well, 10% on $1,000 versus 10% on $100,000. I'm like, okay, if I have $100,000, this is how much money I would have made on that trade.
Oh, interesting.
So it was all about perspective for me. Like, okay, like when I'm able to get to that amount, like I'll have this much money.
Yeah, you start out with a good mindset in the first place, because a lot of people start out and they want, well, it's obviously everyone starts out wanting to make money, and that's the focus, but you were
100%.
focusing on the percentages.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I have my friend to thank for that. And he was no like crazy trader. Like, don't get me wrong. Like he'd only been trading for like a year, but he was following this guy in the penny stock world who just like preached rules. And his rules were, like stay high cash in volatile markets. And he had a bunch of other ones I can't remember off the top of my head, but he had this specific set of rules, and I don't really follow all of them anymore because I don't trade penny stocks. I'm just into crypto and options.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What's like one piece of advice then, or your favorite rule maybe that you learned that you'd give a beginner or someone listening to this right now?
one piece of advice I would give is I'm going to reiterate what I said. It's okay. It's okay to lose $500, $1,000 to learn, but it's, not $10,000. Like learn with a small amount of money so that you can scale up, because you're going to be freaking out if you lose $10,000, but you lose $1,000, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And stay high cash.
Okay. High cash.
Yeah. High cash in volatile markets. If you're not sure, stay high cash. Cash is a position.
Yeah.
That's it. Cash is a position.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's your strategy? Like just generally, when it comes to the stock market?
So I like to look at the overall markets, and I'm talking about like news and everything, and kind of like gauge where people would be putting their money. Like Dogecoin, for example. Like there was hype into Dogecoin, and everyone's like, oh, there's no utility on Dogecoin. Like, don't buy Doge. It's useless. And then what happened? Here's a little side story real quick. My brother actually had bought $1,000 of Dogecoin, and I don't remember the exact price, but I did all the math out, And that was before I really started to get into trading, like I would say October. And again, I got in at the end of October, and he had sold his shares right about when I started. So right in the beginning of November. And I think Dogecoin had its first huge pump in like November 15th.
This was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right around there. Again, I'm not sure of the timeline exactly, but
That's all right.
Yeah, so by January 15th, if he had kept that $1,000 in there, and he ended up not making anything off it,
Really?
unfortunately. Yeah, but he would have made $214,000 off Dogecoin.
Oh.
And that's what really like triggered me to get into crypto. And I started like learning about the different prices of crypto and the market cap. And I was like, okay, I'm like, you can make some serious money here, you know, as long as you follow the hype of the markets. Like where's big money going?
Yeah.
Follow big money.
Or not necessarily like big money, just mass amounts of people with money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So
you use like volume, market cap, like in crypto and stocks to kind of gauge, where to put your money into different coins or how to trade.
Yeah. Different coins, just trading options or the market, like
Okay.
Yeah, all that stuff. Like I was looking at SPY and I called the recession coming. Like, and I'm not like I wasn't making any crazy predictions. Like I was just like, oh my God, this chart is so overbought. And me and every other trader in the world was like, yeah, this is insane. Like it has to make a correction at some point.
Yeah.
Because no chart just stays up 100% or 10,000%. You know, it's got to make some kind of correction before it goes back up again.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is you like really like doing your research. And I remember like a year ago when we were snapping back and forth, you'd send me like trade ideas and explain like different breakdowns on coins or trades or stocks or the overall market.
Yeah.
And like you'd have a million trend lines. And like you're a trend line guy. You like your trend lines, right?
Yeah. So at first, I didn't realize we're like trend lines work. Like, don't get me wrong, but you can have too many trend lines. But at the end of the day, trend lines need volume. And then you're like, oh, okay, like, yeah, there's like 10 bull flags, but they were just, you know what I mean? They're bull flags because they were going to go up anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all the hype was there. The people investing in the stock were there. That's why, like, when I was trading all these bull flags and it just kept going up, it's like, well, yeah, because
of course
there's just a flooded the market, you know?
Yeah. Right now, this year's been tough. I mean, the last couple weeks have been rough for me personally trading. This year as a whole has still been green, like still very green, although the market's down, 22%.
Yeah, well, what are you up right now? Like 280%? I haven't looked in like a month.
I haven't checked in a while. At the end of each month, I'll look and kind of get my year-to-date total. But yeah, it's definitely over. It's like 250%, I think.
Oh, okay, nice. So yeah, so that's still, that's amazing.
It was funny. So there was, I'll talk about this. So Cody, do you know Cody Co?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw it, obviously. Cody Co, this big YouTuber, if you don't know him, he's got like 5 million subscribers, made a video and it was called like reacting to TikTok day traders, something like that.
Yep.
So, well, the way I found out was my buddy calls me and he's like, dang, that Cody Co video, like that's some good publicity. I'm like, what Cody Co video? Because I know who this is. And I look it up and watch the video. And it wasn't reacting to TikTok day traders. It was reacting to TikTok day trader, which was me, which was us, right? The daily traders.
Yeah, that was funny.
And it was a really good video. Like they had fun. It was him, Cody, and then these two guys from this podcast that I hadn't heard before, but a couple of our guys.
Jack and I have.
Yeah, you've heard the podcast.
Jack and I are fans.
Okay. What is it called? The
Trillionaire Mindset. Shout out to
Mindset.
them.
Yeah, so these three guys made this really funny, comedic video, kind of going over our TikToks, the podcast.
It was like trying to be a hit video, but then we sold them on the course.
Yeah, they were. I think they started out like
our marketing worked.
They definitely start out like these guys are just scammers, like everyone says.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you go online and you see this crazy marketing, and then you're like, oh, they're just selling a course to make money, and it's like, well, yeah, we're selling to make money, but we also want to help people. Like, and they're like, oh, it's a scam. It's like, okay, then what's college? Like, you go and you get $200,000 in debt, to learn, like you take a couple classes on your actual like masters or whatever you're going for, but you won't spend $500 or $200 or $1,000 on something you're super interested and driven in.
Yeah.
It just like, it kind of like blows my mind. It's also funny at the same time, but at the end of the day, you really don't know if it is a scam or not, because it's some random guy on the internet.
Yeah.
And the best thing you can do is ask someone who's already taken whatever course, because there's so many out there, and I'm sure there is some that, I mean, and I guess if it's on Teachable, it's not necessarily a scam. Someone's selling their secret information, and it's up to you to go, okay, do I have enough money, or is this worth it to me to take the risk? Like, you're taking a risk buying anyone's course because it's their secret information.
The difference with a course is that it's organized. It's step by step. It's in order. You cannot be step by step in order.
Yeah,
no matter how hard you try on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be missing potholes of information, key things. The fact that Teachable has it like step by step in order of everything you need to know. Like, I don't know, like I want to learn like Resolve, for instance. I want to get way better at color grading. I'm going to take a course, and it's probably going to be in Teachable, and it's going to be step by step. And that is going to save me so much more time rather than watching through a bunch of random YouTube videos that do everything different. Yeah. There's so many different things
and
they
the
do.
best courses, they prove to their audience, and I feel like we do a really good job at doing this, that what we do works on a day-to-day basis. Like, what we're doing is not a bunch of bullshit. Like, we actually do trading call outs, and we actually show that, we're using one of our 10 strategies to make the call out. Like, it's not just, I'm just pulling this trade out of my ass. It's one of the strategies that you learn. And then you can watch him make the trade and then actually apply that to your own knowledge. Like, okay, that's why it worked, or that's why it didn't work, because we don't win every trade.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying, that one I lost the other week. It happens, but that full transparency is something that no one else provides. And exactly. I think by the end of that video, they realized that like we are legit, because they're like, all right, we're in. They were all like, we're in.
Yeah, they
really
watched.
I mean, the only negative thing that they said was, again, about the course. They're like, oh, it's just a course, so it's got to be a scam, right?
And that was
like,
in the beginning, and they were just generalizing with all courses.
That was before.
Exactly.
That was before they got to the point in the ad, which is like barely 30 seconds in.
Our website. They went to the website.
They went to the website, and they watched the video on the website, which is also on our channel, of like kind of just going through your day, going through the jet trip that we had. And they get to that point where you're up 150%. You literally close a trade at the beginning, like a solid trade for a good amount of profit. And they're like, wow, this guy's legit. Like, you could see their heads light up in the video. Hell, I'll even clip it and put it in the middle here just so the viewers can see if they haven't seen the Cody Co video. It was really cool.
Really cool.
It was
we
good.
did not pay for it.
No,
People
it was
thought
good.
we paid for it.
It was good reassurance. I was like, wow, this thing actually works.
Yeah.
Like, I know people join the group every single day, but like to see at least the Trillionaire Mindset guys, at least to see them kind of lit up and like actually believe.
They're traders. They're knowledgeable
traders.
guys.
Yeah. And they were very impressed, which like was
really cool.
was reassuring to us that, it's good stuff that we make.
So earlier you asked me if I paper traded.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, because I know you don't paper trade right now. When someone's trying to learn a new strategy, do you suggest paper trading?
Yeah, I suggest everyone starts paper trading right off the bat, because it's like, why not? You're gonna lose money no matter what. You might as well lose fake money, right?
It's true, yeah. And my big thing is a trading journal, and you can really track your progress, and then you'll with a trading journal you can look back and realize like, you'll pick up on things that you didn't pick up in the moment. You'll be like, oh, wow, over the last 10 trades, every call I made was right. And every put I made was 50% of them were wrong.
Yeah. And well, so to your question, yes, you should paper trade if you switch your strategy. And I think even good traders, even if they're not switching their strategy, if you go through a rough couple of months or a rough couple of weeks, maybe switching over to, just paper for a bit is a good idea.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've done before. If I'm going through a rough patch and I'm down, like, I don't know, a lot, and I just keep digging that hole, it's like, all right, let me step back.
I've seen a lot of traders do that.
Paper.
Like, some guy who joined the group like 3 months ago. He had joined and he was like, he's like putting screenshots in. He goes, dude, he goes, I really hope you guys can help me. He's like, I started with 40 grand and now I'm at 10 grand. And I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like,
dang.
I'm like, have you ever paper trade before? He's like, nah, I'm on Robinhood. I'm like, bro, no.
Oh boy.
I was like, so he wasn't even charting. Like he just knew nothing. He was just straight gambling. And I was like, bro, I'm like, it's not like that.
I love
real
those,
trading is not like that.
I love those TikTok videos of those guys with like Lamborghinis and whatnot, and money and like 200,000 in cash. And
Robinhood.
And then it flicks over, and they have a video of like their screen with Robinhood on it.
Our latest YouTube video,
Sure.
the top 10 trading noob mistakes or something like that, that we just put out today. Yeah, we have a lot of hits on Robinhood.
We went off on Robinhood.
We might get an angry email from someone at Robinhood. But no, I mean, and
Don't get me wrong though. Robinhood is a great platform to execute your trades on, but you still need to be doing your technical analysis on another platform like
Is it
TradingView.
though? I mean, have you ever gotten a good fill on Robinhood?
No.
Josh got a good fill in Robinhood.
Josh did.
Somehow.
Josh
I think
somehow had a lucky fill.
There was just a lot of volume on those contracts during
That reminds
that
me,
time.
like when I was a noob, I was actually on Robinhood, but I was only on Robinhood for the Dogecoin. And I was actually on. So this might be, I don't know if I can say this or not, but I'm going to anyway. So I thought I was like being super smart because I was on TradingView and I was like watching like 5 different brokers on Dogecoin. So when one broker would have a huge spike, I'd buy it on Robinhood. So I was actually like playing the market flow and without even realizing what I was doing. But the problem was I was getting filled at such bad rates that I wasn't actually making money. And I was like, how did I lose money?
Oh, wait. So it was like a broker lag or a broker error?
No, because you know how like just trading works, like in the NASDAQ or whatever you're trading in, like all the brokers have to like compile all their data to get the actual, you know what I mean? Like it's different on all the brokers. Like if you look on TradingView right now, it's different on every broker. It's not the same exact. Okay. So if you saw like a huge candle on one broker, then like a second later you could buy on your broker. And I actually did that a lot.
Wow. Okay. I've never done that.
Yeah. And I realized, like I said, it's not good for like scalping because, and that's what I was doing when I didn't realize I was doing it. I was scalping and I wasn't making money because of the shitty fills I was getting.
Oh, okay.
So I like, to me, when I was looking at it, but when you hit market order, it feels you so bad. They like,
yeah, the market orders kill you.
That's how all these exchanges make their money. Mm-hmm. They make their money off of giving you, I don't know how to explain it, but giving you a shitty fill, basically.
In
bad terms.
I know what you mean. And Jack was talking about this.
How he said something like how it's so toxic in Robinhood, how your P&L is just right in front of your face whenever you open the app.
Oh, yeah.
Because we always kind of talk about, we always advise like not checking your P&L every single second of the day because then it feels more like gambling.
It's just like a visual representation of either like, oh, like I fucked up or oh, I'm doing all right. Like I'm making some money.
It's so funny because like when you start trading and like you lose like $1,000, you're like, oh fuck, I lost $1,000.
And then it's like this on Robinhood, like a straight line that goes down.
But like now, like anyone who's traded for like longer than a year, it's just like, well, I lost $1,000, whatever.
Yeah, you get numb to losing money
because you're just trading the actual charts. You're not trading the money. Like you're following like your trade plan and. You're just executing on that, not the money.
Yeah. What was interesting about Robinhood for a while, though, too, is that they didn't they were very slow to roll out their crypto wallets, right? Like you had your Doge and crypto, but you couldn't, you had your, hang on.
It was certain
you had it was certain coins that they had. They didn't have all the wallets yet. Like you were kind of placed on a wait list for a while. So could you put that Doge into another wallet? Because I don't think you could because you didn't have one.
At the time, Robinhood wouldn't let you transfer out of Robinhood.
Right.
It was stuck in Robinhood.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Really?
Yeah, so
okay.
it was a really shitty platform.
You don't actually have the keys then.
No.
With their new crypto
you do now.
wallet.
You do now.
Yeah, you can transfer out of Robinhood now.
But for a while, you were like, everyone was on a wait list for like 2 years, 3 years when they had Doge, like obviously before Coinbase.
Yeah, you got to
But
be careful too,
yeah.
because like different exchanges have different rules. Like for example, Webull, you can't trade crypto from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. EST.
Really?
Yeah, so I was trying to sell out one day because I thought I was like, oh, cool, like I can have my Shiba in Webull, and then all of a sudden it was like, I can't sell. What the fuck?
Wow. I'm surprised they can do that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
All right, I want to read some. Well, I guess so. I went on
actually,
Instagram.
we're at 31 minutes. If you'd like to take a break.
Do we want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick
Okay.
break. I gotta go to the bathroom.
And then we'll read some questions. All right.
Okay,
Quick break. Quick break. We'll be back. Bum, 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 bum. All right, we're back. Little intermission. I'm going to read some Instagram questions. Did a little poll on Instagram, and we can both kind of answer these. All right, so this guy, not even going to read his name. Can't read that, sorry. What's the most amount of indicators you have used? I have a good take on this. I feel like this goes for like all traders. As you gain more experience trading, you'll start out with a ton of indicators on your screen when you begin, and then you'll realize that 95% of them are absolute shit, and you don't need them. I have, if you consider moving averages indicators, which they're not, well, then I have 3, but I don't use indicators myself. But I know a lot of people have like 8 different indicators, and they just, it depends, but for my experience, they don't work that well.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I've always used like 3 moving averages. I've used the 180 or the 200, then the 50, and then a 15, and even an 8. The thing I like most about the moving averages is a lot of people don't really know how to read them properly. But in just general terms, for the podcast sake here, say you're trading really far above the 8, then you know like you're due for a correction. Like it's just bound to happen. If you're trading really far under the 200, same thing, bound for a correction.
Yep.
In just basic terms. And then some other indicators that I've used in the past, like especially trading pennies, was the RSI, which was like probably the number one indicator out there.
Yeah, that's what everyone slaps on their chart. Right away.
Yeah, exactly. And
overbought,
then the
oversold.
MACD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind about the RSI is what's overbought can become more overbought, and what's oversold can become more oversold.
Yep. So it doesn't really work.
yeah. I mean, it does, but
Well, it just tells you something. It's just
you don't want to.
It's not going to help you trade. It's just it's going to be like quick information on a screen. That's going to tell you one quick fact.
Once you start trading for a while, you don't need that indicator to look at the chart and go, yeah, this is overbought.
Because you can see if it's overbought or oversold.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest difference between like a newbie trader and an experienced trader. Is an experienced trader just looks at the chart. And he doesn't need the indicators because he knows what overbought is. He knows what oversold is. He knows what the overall market is.
But maybe you need those in the beginning, which is fair, right?
Yeah, and you need to go through all these phases in order to level up, right?
Yeah, figure out what works.
Yeah.
You use the volume, so the volume indicator, whatever it's called.
Oh, yes. So I'm actually
indicator.
a fan of just the regular volume. I think
I
if you're
have
not
that.
using vol, everyone needs to use volume. I mean, if you're trading with something with no volume, then it's like, okay, like the stock's not going to move very much, or it can move a lot if there's no volume. There's big buy orders, but I mean, in simple terms, like the volume, like it's just nice to see like if you have a big candle, if there's a lot of people on it or not.
Mm-hmm. Indicators, then the most I've used, I probably had 6 at one point.
6? Holy shit! Yeah, that's more than I've used.
That was when I was just learning, slapping them all on there. I actually had about 50 on the other day. I had about 50
My
on.
God.
Yeah, you did. That was funny.
That was hilarious.
That was a good video.
Run with this, media.
What do you want me to say? And then just put the photo on the screen.
We'll put the photo on the screen. Why? Why did I have 50 indicators?
Because the Big Dipper has a huge correlation. It was recently discovered.
He doesn't trade. Don't give him shit.
It was recently discovered that the Big Dipper, the shape that
The
it
Big
makes,
Dipper, like the constellation.
yeah, like the constellation, like it has a huge correlation to like whatever inflation.
Inflation. We made like a parody video on the YouTube, and like that was one of the.
Yeah, you even drew the stars and
That was one of the.
They were glowing.
What not to do is have a million indicators. Okay, next question. Instagram. Okay. Do make a video on your journey from scratch. Who picked these out? You picked them out.
Yeah, there's a video on your journey. It's the jet video.
Yeah, we have.
It's how I learned. It's how I learned to trade.
Yeah,
the Daily Traders YouTube. So go look it up.
Go watch that.
Yep.
So just to reiterate, that's the video where you tell everybody that you started scalping Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kind of my story.
That video is super inspiring. We stayed up all night editing that.
Yeah.
Remember we got back after buying the McLaren. So took the jet, bought the McLaren. It was still like snowing out, so you had it shipped to Myrtle
Beach.
But then we came back home and we were like, shit, we need to put out a video. Like, let's edit this thing right now.
Yeah, we stayed up.
And so we stayed up all night. You gave me this new computer, so like I was excited because I love new gear. And downloaded Final Cut. Bam! Like you were editing too. Like Mark over here was, he was trying his hand in Final Cut land.
I was
doing a pretty good job.
That, yeah.
I didn't dare download Premiere yet because Mark is not a Premiere man. That's okay. Neither am I, but a little bit.
Oh my God.
But anyway, that I remember we like watched that a few times. Again, I went back home on the train. I went back down to school on the train, just like dead the next morning, but it didn't matter because I was like, we just made like an incredible video. We made like a few incredible videos.
That video is so good.
Out of that. Yeah. So.
All right. Next, you only picked out those 2 questions, so now I'm gonna go back and.
Oh my bad. There honestly weren't that many good ones.
Okay. Another question. How did you learn trading? Why does everyone ask that? It's like there's no good answer for that.
Yeah.
I saw my friend doing well, and I messaged him and I said, "Hey, I've been trying to get into trading for like the last year. I just don't know where to start." And he's like, "Yo, dude, join my group." And I was like, "Sick."
Nice. All right. I just want to make money. That's why I learned trading. I just want to make money.
You keep yelling into the mic.
Yeah. Well, you should have picked out more questions for me.
My bad.
Because now I'm trying to find. All right. I have a.
Yeah,
enough of the questions. I have a funny story.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I was talking to my dad, and he was like, I called you the other day, and this was when I took that big loss on FSLY, and I was down like atrocious. And he had FaceTimed me, and I remember this. And he's like, I called you. It was so funny. This was him talking. He's like, it was so funny. I called you, and I want to check in and see how you were doing because I saw you took that huge loss, and I figured like you would be like really depressed and like time to close up shop. Like I'm done.
That's funny.
And he's like, he asked me. He's like, how was your day? And I didn't even bring up the FSLY loss. What I said was, he's like, yeah, I asked you how your day was, and you told me, hey, guess what, Dad? I'm going to go buy a Lamborghini. So I was talking about going and buying a Lamborghini. I was like going on Car Gurus, and that's where my mind was at. And he was just baffled. He's like, wow, like I didn't even bring up the loss. And I think that's a good lesson. You got to separate work from like family, and don't let losses carry over into your life. Don't let gains carry over into your life.
Yep.
I think if I was a new trader and I took a huge loss and my dad called me, I'd be like, yeah, Dad, shit, like I'm down so much, and I don't know, I'm really depressed. Insert picture of a bridge.
Go to the bar and get blackout tonight.
Yeah.
Smoke like 3 doobies on the way.
God. No, but good lesson. Like I was already on to the next thing. I was thinking about buying a Lamborghini, and he thought that was really funny. Like take a huge loss.
But you're keeping the McLaren. Right?
I mean, I'm gonna do that whether I'm depressed or not.
I'm still thinking about buying a Lamborghini. I am gonna buy a Lamborghini. I am gonna buy a Lamborghini, but I like the McLaren. I don't know. I'm not done with it yet. They have a Lambo for sale. They have a Lambo for sale right now, and I want to go buy it. But
of course they do. There's always a Lambo for sale.
That was funny though. Like, how was your day? He's expecting me to be all depressed, and I'm like, guess what? I'm gonna buy a Lambo.
Yeah,
that's a good story. Okay,
there's something like I don't know. McLaren's just so much better than a Lamborghini.
They are.
Maybe it's just me.
100%.
Like,
okay, so I must say,
you're a car person.
The interior of a McLaren is lacking.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
they're not meant to be luxury. They're meant to be
they're
more
fast cars. They're meant to be fast cars in a straight line. But
track
like
car.
between all like the issues they have, like it's just a Lamborghini.
know.
Like a Lamborghini Huracan is like
I would prefer a
supercar
McLaren over a
than
Lambo.
But I like the McLaren better than the Huracan.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I think a Lambo would go further in content. Like a neon green Lamborghini is going to get more views.
Yeah, I think you should for sure.
When? Tomorrow?
Oh, that depends. Like,
What does that depend on?
you know, like you've had the McLaren for 6 months now, and
Yeah.
you know, when you run a business, you know, you have to claim things on taxes and whatnot. So it's also like, it's not like, okay, I want it now. It's like, well, what makes sense?
Yeah,
And on a business standpoint
that's true.
and a marketing standpoint,
I think,
you know, because these cars aren't just like,
They're not
Is
pleasure.
luxury.
Yeah, they're not pleasure.
I think,
I get pleasure
that's the
from them. That's what I enjoy. I
it's
love
the
cars.
bonus of owning a nice car. But on the flip side of it, it's part of marketing. So
Yeah, it
like
is.
when you run a business, you know, you got to think about that kind of stuff.
hear me out. Instead of buying, I don't even know how much of a Lamborghini is. It doesn't matter.
260
You could
grand.
wrap the McLaren,
We were talking
and then
about
all of a sudden, oh, it looks like a whole nother car now. And you only give it away for like a week or two, depending on the shop.
Yeah, we could wrap it. Because
So-
realistically, I'm going to get 2.5 more months driving it.
Yeah,
till
I
it
think
snows.
wrapping it with like a TDT
Yeah.
green, like on our sign
What if
up
we
there,
wrote the Daily Traders?
that would be.
What if it was? What if we
sick.
wrapped it in neon green
You're
and
going to
had
live in Florida this summer.
this winter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
this
you
sucks.
did you ever hear about Dead Mouse,
that.
the DJ Dead Mouse? Dead Mouse 5 is how it's spelled, MAU. He either had a Ferrari, I think it was a Ferrari, and he had like the neon cat on the side of it, and like,
That's cool.
But what happened was Ferrari didn't like it, and so they like wanted to seize his Ferrari.
Yeah, well, but
So then-
Ferrari's like that.
Yeah,
Ferrari
yeah.
has rules when you buy a Ferrari.
which is so
You
dumb.
can't paint it.
Yeah, it's
Can't
like
wrap it.
they must retain the intellectual property of the car whenever they sell it. Yeah, so they
I
can do
think
that.
You have to own. If you buy Ferrari, you can't sell it within a year of buying it. They've got a bunch of rules like that.
Anyway, so then he goes out after they like take it from him. He goes then and buys a Lamborghini instead and wraps it with the same thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, wait. Hey, so okay, for this fall, wrap the McLaren in neon green and put big white letters, the Daily Traders on the side.
Yeah, like with the same font we use for everything.
Should we do that?
Just like how it's on the mouse pad. Yo, it should have the
No.
green. It should have the green. No, I think that'd be
And-
crazy.
That would
Here's
get
the
crazy.
thing.
That'd be
views.
crazy.
There's a lot of people on YouTube that rap supercars, and one of the biggest guys is Street Speed 717, and he partners with InChain Designs. They wrap a lot of cars. The wraps that do the best are the ones that are just like crazy. Like
Neon green isn't crazy.
no, not solid colors.
Ah, okay.
Those ones suck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him right now
Yeah.
if he's watching this, the solid colors suck. Like all your videos that have ever done really well and all the cars that have done well are the Corvettes that have had those just insane like abstract colors.
Yeah.
It just crazy graphics on it that like you just wouldn't see anywhere else.
We could
you
do,
can
like-
see colors anyway.
What if
You
we
see solid
did
colors.
Monopoly Man, like a cartoon Monopoly Man, like cartoon Bitcoins,
Dude, whatever you want to do, that's wild.
something like that.
Yeah, or just get like our mouse pad design, just blow that up onto the side of the car. That would be sick. The clouds and shit.
I would have
mean,
way too
you
much of an
could.
ego driving that.
Oh no,
around.
I'm not saying you'd be there. I'm just saying
Ego
like
drive.
just the logo. Just the logo, not you with the cars. Just the logo.
The logo, yeah.
I made that logo from scratch. That's our unofficial logo. That's the podcast logo on Spotify and stuff. Is that right there with the green going up the text? I like it. It's a little inaccurate of a chart on the logo itself, but that's fine.
Cody,
Yeah, I often use those candles to make my decisions trading.
Cody, we've talked a lot about
Yep.
you, your trading, whatnot. Let's just briefly, what do you do for the Daily Traders?
What do I do for the daily
You hear me
traders?
bitch at you all day long.
You do a lot.
Actually, I work from home like 3 days a week, and I come to the office on the podcast days and the film days because it's fun. You know, it's nice to be involved. But I'm all the internal work. Like I do all your, money, anything to do with money. I do, just anything
Preface
with business.
this with my money. How do I say it? my realities with money or the way I see money is just very skewed.
So I have a very good perspective with money because I worked in the trades for many years, and I didn't make any more than 40,000 a year, but not making any more than 40,000 a year is what gave me that drive. Whereas you have Mark, who's just he's 20 now, and it's just what he's done.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, he's gotten money so quick. He didn't come from money, but he's gotten money so quick that it's like, he's like, oh, that's a $4,000 suit. I'm going to go buy that. And I'm sitting over here like, dude, that's a $4,000 suit.
Yeah,
like, you need
this is
to
the difference,
chill, bro.
This is the difference. Like Cody and I, like we could go like, oh, I bought that lens yesterday. It's like $400. That to me is like a decent amount of money. Or like $1,000, or for that new camera, like that was like 2,500. I was like, that's a lot of money. That 2,500 to me is like 25,000 to you.
Yeah, so it's all in perspective.
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
And before he decided to scale the company and take on full-time people like myself, he was already very successful. He was doing, he was working 24/7, but he was able to make a lot of money by himself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you told me, you're like, the whole point of scaling this company is like, yeah, he goes, I could just do this by myself and keep all the money to myself. But you're like, the point of scaling the company is so that it eventually just doesn't die out. You're like, I don't want to die out. I don't want to get boring. So I always want something new and fresh. And then in the last, 6 months, what we've done is just
crazy.
Yeah, it's not, I knew it wouldn't be sustainable.
Crazy.
It's only sustainable up to a certain point.
And then
one person.
If you keep doing what you were doing, like say the one YouTube a week, and what you were currently doing in the group at the time. I don't know. I wasn't in the group until like May.
He also got banned from the main server.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But what I'm trying to say is even the landscape of TikTok over the last few months has completely shifted.
Yeah, it has.
Tate is everywhere.
Tate is everywhere.
So we have to like fight back. How do you fight back?
Yeah.
We 6x our output, or 5 or 4x, and that's part of what this podcast is for.
That's my marketing scheming. Yeah, it's like I was listening to Grant Cardone, and he was like talking about, he was telling someone, he's like, look at my Instagram and look at your Instagram. And one guy's Instagram had like 1 post a day, and then his had like 20 posts a day. And he's like, don't just 1 or 2x your output, like 6, 7, 10x, 100x your output. So that's what we're doing with all these different outlets and new TikTok accounts.
I'm putting you on the spot here. I feel like we could do more on Instagram.
Instagram, Instagram is definitely.
There's a lot of free value you can provide on Instagram that people really like, whether it's like slide over posts of just a bunch of information. I mean, we teach a few strategies, and it would kind of run out eventually between videos and then that's like graphics people have to make. Like, there's a lot that goes into that.
There's definitely, we could do more leveraging of Instagram for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even reels alone. Like, we posted a cool reel.
I know that.
We made a sound that's really cool, and that's doing pretty well. And I think we should crack into that more.
Personally, I never was on TikTok. I was always watching reels.
Yeah.
And then I never got into TikTok till I joined with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm not an Instagram Reels guy. I didn't watch Reels.
I was big into like the Instagram videos before they came out with Reels. I was always like on there sending stuff to my friends.
Yeah.
To the point where like they would just stop responding because I was sending them so much stuff.
It's interesting how like Instagram started with Instagram TV. It was like kind of a joke for a while. Everyone was like, oh, like now we have to make things vertical and post it on there. And the views were shit for a long time.
They were.
But then with the resurgence of Reels, vertical content on TikTok, everyone is making vertical content now.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, even we're making vertical content now. We have to. It's part of why we're I crop these podcasts vertically, and it's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
But that was such a forced change because like back in the day when cell phones first came out, if you recorded something vertical, like
you were laughed at.
You were laughed at. People gave you endless shit for that.
Yeah.
And now it's the standard.
Yeah, it's you have to have that in mind. I mean, as a videographer myself, you have to I'm always thinking every single shot, I'm like, how is this gonna how is this gonna get cropped to a vertical frame?
Yep.
Sometimes it's just not possible. And that's unfortunate. I remember when I edited the first YouTube video, the LA, I know, making however much LA, whatever it's called, episode 0, you know, you wanted to crop it vertically.
Yeah.
And there was too many
wouldn't work.
effects and how Josh shot it. It was just not possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. So Instagram will definitely work on
Yeah,
that.
I want to do that. There's a lot of strategies I think we could bring forth there
Reels
and grow our
Reels are
following
fun.
even more.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about the new office a bit? Because
Yes.
okay, so this is
Yeah.
good. Cody's the one who's been doing this whole new office thing. Jack and I talk about it, but we just talk about it. We're not actively going out and making this new office happen.
Yeah, so the current office that we're looking at moving into, it's got a gorgeous view, but we want it remodeled. It's very outdated. So, you know, right now we're in the process of getting contractors in there, remodeling the office, so that when we move in, you know, it's a nice creative space. Everything feels fresh. And then after that, you know, then we're going to actually build out a podcast studio. So media doesn't have to set everything up every time.
Yeah, spend an hour placing the cameras, the lights.
Yep.
We'll get nice lights. These lights suck.
Yeah, these lights are bad.
Yeah,
but you've
and-
been going there meeting contractors, and that's been a struggle.
Yeah, and to circle back around real quick to business, you know, when you run a business, things need to be done with speed. So everything that we're doing is to get things done at a faster pace. And yeah, I've been going there. I've been meeting contractors, you know, make sure they can get it in the morning and just, you know, make sure everything runs smoothly. But, you know, when the whole process is done, we'll have a very nice place
Yeah.
to work in every day.
Yeah.
And we'll have our own separate offices. You know, right now we're in this, literally what you're looking at is our office.
Yeah.
There's like 4 desks back to back.
It's tight.
And 800 square feet.
Because
So
it was
we're moving
it was just
into
me.
2,500 square feet, which doesn't sound like that much more,
Isn't it?
but
It's
it is.
like 28. It's almost 3.
Yeah, it is. And again, there's like 7 different separate offices. There's
big.
2 huge rooms. So there's plenty of space to do whatever we need to do
It's just
for the
gonna be
next
so
like
nice.
3 years, no doubt.
For the podcast, the cameras will stay up. Currently, we have 3 Black Magics, 2 of which are mine. And we're going to get probably 2 more so that one is always ready to go for Jack's content. One is always ready to go like for a YouTube setup in your office.
Yeah.
And then the other 3 are always set up in the podcast room.
Yeah,
ready
you always
to
want
go.
to make life more simple and easy for just
Yep.
everyone involved.
And
that's
there's
what makes life
so
better.
many ways to save time. You know, I've been looking at getting a live switcher for the podcast that would then record
A live
all,
switcher?
all of the cuts. Yeah, a live thing for the cameras,
Yep.
like what they use on TV sets, you know, for news and stuff. And then that already edits it for me. I just have to go back and fix where I screwed up the cuts.
Yeah.
so
You know,
everyone
like, there's so
automatic.
many
Yeah, makes
ways
sense.
you can save time in a lot of what I do, and keeping you guys obviously too. You know?
Yeah, we all have this mindset of like making everything efficient
Yeah.
and like it's all about time management, and the faster you can do things, a little workarounds with editing or whatever it may be, it just helps us progress faster and work toward these goals we have and make more
'cause
money at the end of the day.
end of the day, whether you work a 40-hour-a-week job or you run your own business, you know, time is money.
Yeah. And I think I don't know, it's not even a cool word. It's just a word that I definitely, I think if any business owner or entrepreneur, if there's one word that everyone should know, it's leverage. All right. The L word, leverage. And it's leverage is such a cool thing because just very straightforward. Say you own a business, and we'll just use this as our company as an example, right? I was in Colorado on vacation for a week. I took the week off. Now, if it was just me, myself running the whole company, nothing would have happened, right? Maybe the revenue would have, continued to generate a little bit because of the videos I have, out there, but
Right.
nothing would have gotten done. Meanwhile, I'm off on vacation, right? That was like actually my first vacation in like years, but I really didn't have to do anything. And everyone, you guys were all here working and getting stuff done.
Right. Yeah. Like
It's
I had-
I'm leveraging you guys, and then you're leveraging this new guy we hired to help you
Yep.
get your stuff done.
Thank
And
God.
then eventually we're going to have someone that you're going to be leveraging to help get your stuff done. And you see it's this big
Yep.
We were drawing it on the board the other day. How it's like one guy at the top, and then you got two guys under them, and then 4 guys under them, and then 8 guys under them, and it's building this
structure. It's
just building this machine, this company, this real business that is providing jobs for all these people, and that is in return, like, we're providing a service that helps people make money.
Yeah.
And it's 100%. Really cool what we're doing.
Yep.
It's really cool.
No, I really enjoy being a part of this team, and like this opportunity is really just like not changed my life, but excelled my life in like the direction I wanted to go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been great. Like even talking about it last night, I realized how much I was doing at school. Like I had so many things going on at school, which was great, like outside of friends and stuff. I've carried that same amount of hard work and momentum into this. Like I haven't stopped this whole year, which is great. And I went on that vacation the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that just like kind of put me back into like a better even mindset now, where it's like, it was nice to have 12 days off of going into an editing software, cause now I'm just like super refreshed, and we cooked that in insanely funny YouTube video.
Yeah, taking breaks
for today.
Taking breaks are so important. Taking breaks in trading are really important.
That's funny because I used to edit a bit when I was younger, and when I would edit a video, I would have to edit it in one sitting. That was it. The whole thing. But it was bad because when I started the video, by the time I got to the end of the video, my creativity, just tanked.
Yeah.
So like in the beginning it was fucking awesome. And by the time you got to the end of the video, it was like, this is just,
and that's like,
shit.
That's unfortunate because I always call it cliches of editing in a lot of what I do for my personal stuff, to keep it interesting in whatever it is. Whether it's like stacking things or just like the speedy transitions or whatever, like, you got to keep it interesting. So that's funny from your perspective. Like you start off the video with like it really sick, and then it just slowly falls off a cliff. So, we're right around
I don't know why, but I just really had to get it done.
Point of the story. All right. Moral of the story.
Exactly.
Breaks
absolutely
ultimately result in more progress. And like continued inspiration, and you making sure that you don't burn out.
It'll be interesting to see.
Burning out is not good for company progress. So anything we can do to avoid anybody burning out is key.
You say that all the time too.
Yeah, because I've been in a lot of places where I was burnt out, and there's nothing I could do. It was just like the people who were telling me what to do for my job every day were forcing me to burn out, and there's nothing I could do to change it. I couldn't just take a break, like. But now working for you, like if I'm like really exhausted, like in the middle of the week, I can go to the gym in the middle of the day, or I can do this, and I'll just stay up later at night because I had a relaxing day.
Yeah, I do that
it's
all
like
the time.
It's not even like work. When I'm working till like midnight, I'm just having fun doing my thing.
Yeah, it's a fun job.
I've had some days, in the last like month or so, where it's like it's a Wednesday and the video is already scheduled, and I could come here and make TikToks all day. I come here and just cook up stuff, but I don't want to, and I don't feel like it. So what do? I sit on the couch and watch YouTube all day because
and when I don't feel like
takes,
doing something, I'll literally just sit at my desk and get nothing done for hours.
Exactly.
So it's like, what's the point?
difference?
It's like I could either just sit there and mope, or I can go do something to get my motivation back.
So all to say,
everyone's still getting their stuff done, but it's important to pace yourself.
All to say that if you go to thedailytraders.com and you do some research into our offer, it could change your life.
It could,
because we put a ton of work into it.
That was a slide plug.
so sly. No one saw that coming.
I think we need to mention this the episode sponsor then.
Oh, okay, yeah. This episode is officially sponsored by none other than thedailytraders.com. First link in the description if you'd like to learn how to trade and copy my exact trades in the stock market. All right, click that link. I think with that said,
we're 31 minutes in. It's time to end it.
Let's wrap up this episode. Thank you for coming on, Cody.
Absolutely.
He'll probably be back. Everyone keep Jack in your thoughts.
Yes.
He's okay.
Please
he will
Jack
be
in your
back.
thoughts.
It might take him a month or so to recover, but he is okay.
And he might look like Harry Potter when he comes back.
No, he should be fine.
He'll be good.
It wasn't that bad.
So thank you everyone for watching.
We'll see you in next week's episode. Later.
Later.
Bye bye.